Happy Tuesday, traders, and today was a crappy day. The market was kind of crappy, and unfortunately today I'm pretty much break even for the day. And when I opened my computer today, I had my EA on automatic on A, and when I turned on my computer, it automatically entered on a trade, which was this one right here. And then I was like, you know what, it kind of looks good, let me see if it works out. And then I gave it a 20 pip stop loss, and then boom, market dropped like crazy over here. And then it gave me actually a sell entry, but then I was kind of pissed at what was going on, and I didn't react and enter on this trade right over here, which worked out for actually quite few pips in there. So it worked out for what, 50 pips. It went down. And then again I lost 20 pips on that. And then I was trying out something because something was not working, and I tried to buy and sell, and then I entered into a trade and it went against me, but without really analyzing. So today this was a trade that it did on its own, which I turned on my computer, unfortunately, and it just boom, it was a lost entry. And then I wanted to see if it worked out, and it didn't. This was just an entry I made by mistake. And then here, this one was a boo-boo. I entered based on 15 minutes, and I promised myself that I was not going to look at a lower time frame, and so I did. And then the market moved very fast, and then anyways, I lost on that one. And then here, you're going to see how actually the trade worked out. But so I did an entry over here after we had a signal. The best would have been in here very close. If I had put it automatic, it would have entered just right over here, and then it worked out for 30 pips. And then I have put right over here this horizontal line that you see in here. What happened is the market did a gap. If you can tell, this big huge candle right over here, that means the market needs to fill this gap, and it pretty much came to fill it. If you look at your left candle, let me just erase right over here this moving average. Let me just actually erase it right over here so you can see better. So if you take a look at this left candle right over here, we can tell that the market had a nice drop, and then the market went up a little bit, and then this between here and here, this is a liquidity void where the market needs to fill this this gap pretty much over here from here to here. And then the market went up, and I had it over here, but then I was hoping that it would keep on going, but I should just listen to what the market is actually doing. And then it gave me multiple entry and opportunities to get out, and finally I did get out, as you're able to tell. But I have had more pips in there. I got out with 26 over here and 28, but I had like 35 pips when it hit this, a couple times was there. And then I'm like, you know what, it looks like it's really respecting this this resistance over here. And then boom, I just got out with 26 pips, but I had 35 pips in that. So that's pretty much it. What happened when you see, please be very careful when you start seeing the market that is doing mixed large candles, the market is gonna quickly fill it. So like over here, if you're able to tell, also the market went up rapidly, and then now it had to fill this space, and then it did it again. Since it also went down rapidly, then it had to fill it again. So that's pretty much what it does. But if you now take a look, this candle right over here filled in this space. So now the market does not have to fill it. So if just take a look, we have this big candle, and then you're always gonna look at your left candle that just that is coming where it's coming from, and then this right candle actually came back down to fill this whole space for this big candle right here. So now the market, it doesn't necessarily need to come all the way down, because this is already filled. Like if you take a look in here, we had we have this big candle. So we'll take a look at the left hand side candle. So we draw a line in here. Now the market comes back down, and if this was the first candle, then we would have said the market needs to fill this part over here, right? From the left to the right needs to fill this, but since the market kept on going lower, then now it has more to fill. So now I drew my line over here where it filled this type of this candle and then this candle. So now it had all of this gap that had to fill it, and then it did it exactly. Then it came to this resistance. So if I get an entry, I will have to get out over here, which I kind of did, but I had a lot of pips in there and I didn't get out more where I should have. And then now this created this big candle where it actually, this big one over here came back down and then it went back up. So this actually is filled already. But if you take a look at on the this one over here, then we would put a line on this big candle, and then here we will put, let's say over here, this one where all these three big candles went up. Then now the market had to fill in all of these candles right over here, because as you're able to tell, we don't really have nothing that is coming back down. Like maybe we don't have a wick. This one does not have a wick, so it's not filling on the right hand side. The market is not filling this, so it has to also drop in here. So always when you see big candles like that, always expect a move to the other side. It might do it right away, or it might do it later on, but at least it is going to do it. It's going to fill in that gap. Okay guys, so right here again, I did have an entry, but it was so close. Like this big candle right here actually was the one that filled in up to here. It went back up and then it dropped again, so I didn't enter. Again, I came from a loss, so I didn't want to enter right away. But here, this big candle filled in exactly to this one, to this point over here, all of this gap. And then this other candle just went up, back down, and then it went back up. But that's pretty much it. Today was just a crappy day, but it's okay. It's just one of those things that we just have to, keep on trying and keep doing. So I want to show you now. Okay, so now this is it. We have for today, we just have $40 positive, so it pretty much is just break even for the day. And so this day over here, day 5 was nice, and day 6 was just pretty crappy. But it's one of those things that I'm still break even. As long as I'm break even or positive just by a little bit, is still a good day, right? You don't want to be on the negative side. It's okay if you're negative, just like it was negative in here. It's fine as long as the next day we're able to recoup, and then that's it. All right guys, so this is pretty much with the market. Really wasn't much going on either. I did have a couple of opportunities to enter on pound yen and pound dollar, but the moves were so tiny. There was an entry over here which worked out for 30 pips. I got an alert for that one, but I really wanted to concentrate only on gold today. And then it immediately came back up again, and then it came back down. So it's just kind of crappy. It's not really going into one big direction. The same thing with pound dollar. I had an entry over here, an alert over here to enter. It went down again, and then it quickly turned back around, and then now it's just waiting to see if it gets a sell entry. But pretty much the entries were very short. If you got an alert, the entries would have been here like for 30 pips, and over here would have been another 30 pips. So even if you got only 15 out of here, or 20, and then 20 out of here, that's not bad for the day. Again, if you're trading multiple pairs, and you get in here and there, and you get pips here and there, you're still gonna be positive for the day. And euro dollar today was just like acting like pound dollar. It was, again, we had a nice entry, would have given it over here, worked out for 30, and then it turned around. So it's very rangy. The market is not really taking to one big direction, but you can tell if you look at it as a big picture, you minimize it. We know that the market went up for a long period of time. It came back down only halfway. It went back up again to a sell zone over here, close to the sell zone over here, and it's pretty much in here. Right now, this is considered a buy zone in the middle of all of this, but truly the buy zone would have been much more better to really buy over here, all the way at here at the bottom. This is a nice buy entry. But right now, you know, we're only halfway, and we will consider this 3 over here as a buy zone, a mini buy zone. So we are ranging from here to here pretty much. You know, it has to break somehow and be able to come down to fill all of this gap over here, this big gap. So it might be able to, after this, break here and then come back down to here. And then that's it. So we are getting a sell opportunity, I think, on euro dollar. And so if you were, you know, following this 3, and you would have been able to see that, hey, you know what, this also would have been a buy entry over here. So you kind of had to play around these zones. You know, if you get a sell entry here, you know, you had to get out somewhere in here, and if you got a buy, you have to get out here. You know, just type of those things. You know, right now the market is ranging, but that's pretty much it. Nothing too exciting. Now it looks like gold wants to break this part of where I had here this resistance zone, which we'll see if it's going to do it or not. But let me see something over here. It's actually right over here. Okay, so it touched here, so it needs to break if it really wants to keep on going higher. But what is really gold doing? I mean, gold is also pretty much rangy. It's not really doing much. It's ranging very much over here. It needs to, you know, take one direction. It can either come back down all the way here, this low, right over here. You know, this would be a buy nice resistance, you know, buy support zone over here. And buy sell zone would have been, you know, maybe somewhere in here, something higher that we can know that we can hold for a long period of time. But like I said, the market is pretty much ranging, so be very careful. You might get some opportunities later on, but today was just very crappy. Like I said, I was not able to, I did some mistakes today. And then that's it, traders. Happy Tuesday, and I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day.